video. Wednesday night, well, more like Wednesday evening. Got a lot of the rack set up, all the cross connects are theoretically done, lots of stuff powered up, checked some of it's working, got all the NIDs provisioned, all the intermediate distributing frames, aka these 25 pair breakouts. Somewhere elsewhere there's big bins and boxes of cable and that are going to go to the show. Yeah, another year. It's not even 3 a.m. this time, so you know. We already ate dinner, so we don't have to go out to the ramenless ramen place. You know, which is a whole other story. So I'm here at the Shadytel Midwest exhibit. I'm going to try and go through all the different components of the exhibit. So the tower on the left here is the Meridian 1 PBX. It's running most of the services for the show, like analog phone lines, ISDN, BRI, Meridian digital sets, and that's mostly it. A couple other special trunk circuits. And then on the right we've got the rack, which contains most of the other service providing equipment. HDSL2 carrier equipment for delivering customer T1s. Have something like 9 circuits out to customers this year. Down at the bottom of the rack is a couple of Cisco ISRs providing switching between our switches as well as T1s out to customers. Of course, we have the main distribution frame of 110 cross connect blocks. I'll try and get a closer shot of that later. Some patch panels for local cabling in the CO and in the same table pod as us. Above the plate in the rack there is a Asterisk PC running an IVR for a pager system that'll go into a little bit more later. Above that is the Grand Slam D-Slam providing DSL service to about 20 customers. And a little bit more above that there's a talking clock, which is wired into a special trunk circuit on the Meridian so that a number of people can call it at any one given time. At the very top of the rack is, of course, an Ethernet switch just for management data purposes. So a little bit more about that rack. Again, up here there's a Cisco ISR, and below that talking clock, which is wired into the Meridian through a coupling transformer. The Grand D-Slam or Grand Slam from Paradigm, which is serving the DSL circuits. The Asterisk IVR PC. I'm going to turn off autofocus here, give me one moment. So the Asterisk PC running pager IVR that I'll get to more later. And then we have some patch panels for local cabling distribution. The main distribution frame with something like 150 to 200 cross connects made on it, including to all of the equipment previously mentioned, as well as the HDSL carrier equipment. Down here you can see there are 11 cards with 9 of the circuits active. Some equipment we didn't use, a modem bank, the Cisco 2511, as well as some equipment we did use, the Cisco ISRs serving various customer services and circuits, dial-up, internet. It's doing the PPPoE for the D-Slam and a few other ancillary things like announcements and TCL IVRs. Watch out for this guy's camera. This printer is what we'll be printing the novelty bills on later. It's on an actual printer stand, fan-fold paper in the front, and an output tray in the back. This is one of 2 Polycom ISDN teleconference phones. Unfortunately, due to a hardware failure, we weren't able to make the 2 talk to each other, so this is just showing what's on the local camera. I'll show the other one in just a moment, but it's pretty much the same hardware on a different display. And this is the other teleconference phone. Like I said, it's pretty much the same hardware, just on a different display. So here I have a VT330, Stromberg Carlson 500 set, and a ComData acoustic coupler modem. These are just to illustrate an acoustic coupler modem in use. So I'll run through the demonstration. So the first step is to take the handset, place it in the acoustic coupler modem. It needs to be secure in the modem coupler cups. We'll hang the phone up, make sure that we get a new dial tone. And then we'll dial the extension for the modem services, which is 3000. Then I'll be watching for the carrier detect light to come on, which takes a few seconds, as well as information to scroll on the display. I see carrier detect light, and there's the information beginning to come across. It's asking me to log in, so I'm going to put in the default credentials for VCFMW. And at this point I'm logged into the Cisco 3845 ISR. From here I can telnet out to the internet. I can also use SSH with old ciphers and a few other protocols. This is a no-dial Red 2554, a typical hotline phone, and in this case it's the Rick Astley hotline. So you can pick up the phone and get a direct line to Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. Coldline is a game that was ported by the Media Archaeology Lab at the University of Texas at Dallas to a Cisco IVR platform using TCL scripting on a Cisco ISR. It's a fun game to play through the telephone, and it's available here at VCF Midwest. Over here we just have some cool telephones to look at that visitors can play with. These have working neon tubes in them, and they're quite interesting appearance. The telephones have a quite interesting appearance. This is a pager transmitter, which supports POXAG on a UHF frequency, so that we can send ourselves pages or send each other pages. So I'm going to demonstrate that system. It can be accessed through an IVR.
You have reached the Shadytel paging system powered by Incompetel. Please enter the 4-digit number of the pager you wish to reach. Pager numbers must begin with a 1 or 2.
My pager number is 2007.
To send the number you are calling from, press 1. To send a custom
I'm going to send the number I'm calling from.
Thank you for using the Shadytel paging system powered by Incompetel.
And now I'm receiving a page.
This call will now be disconnected.
If I look at the page, I see the message is the number that I called from, which is the key on the set that I used to place the call, 2901. Here we have a couple of Meridian M2216 ACD sets. These are being used for the ACD queues for 411, which is directory assistance, 611, which is telephone company repair, and 2900, which is telephone company customer support. So if I dial any of those numbers, the calls will go into a queue and present to these telephones so that they can be answered by our staff. I'll demonstrate that here by dialing from one set to another. So I go off hook, dial 411, and the other set buzzes and indicates not only the number that's calling, but the number that was called as well, so that we can answer properly whether the call has come in as directory assistance, repair, or customer service. This is the Meridian M2250 attendant console, which we're using for operator services. Any calls that come into this through dialing 0 or certain other trouble conditions or incoming trunk calls can be forwarded on to other destinations, including out to the PSTN through my home phone line. So over here on the left side, this white box back here is an SDR running an analog cell site simulator, basically, which is trunked in with the rest of the system, so I can call from an AMPS phone to anywhere in the show network and vice versa. So this phone is extension 3101, so I can call that one and make it ring. Let me just disconnect this to put it on speakerphone. Takes a moment to connect, and the cell phone rings. And of course it works in the other direction as well. If I dial 2901 and hit send, may not have done that correctly. 2901 send. Then we should get a call on the Nortel set in just a moment. And there it is.
Another $1 won't hurt fee.
But did you look at the amount?
$1.05.
Inflation sucks.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so we're here at the end of the show and we're printing the bills. So we already printed the phone company's own internal bill. And I'm not going to splay it all out again, but it's a pretty thick stack of paper. And it looks like we owe about, let me focus the camera here, about almost $3,000 to ourselves. So I'm going to keep printing here and start handing them out pretty soon.